Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into a really fascinating story from the ancient Buddhist texts.
Yeah, the source is specifically the Pilindavaccha Theravathu. It's a narrative about this respected elder monk, and it all happens while the Buddha is staying at the Veluvana monastery.
Right, a pretty classic setting. But what makes this one really, jump off the page is the monk himself, this elder, Pilindavaccha.
Exactly. He's held in high regard, but the text hits us with this puzzle right away. Apparently, he had this incredibly unusual, almost harsh way of speaking to people.
That's the hook, isn't it? You immediately think, why? Why would a respected elder use language that sounds so, well, off? What is this strange habit?
The texts are quite clear about it, actually. They say Elder Pilindavaccha would address basically everyone, lay people, other monks didn't matter, using the specific term vasali.
Vasali. And the examples they give are, wow, pretty blunt. Things like, come, vile person, and go, vile person. I mean, that's not exactly gentle speech, is it?
Not at all. And the source commentary gives the meaning vasali is, yeah, vile person or outcast. In Thai, the equivalent term Khīṇāsava carries that same really strong sense of rudeness, someone base.
You can just imagine how that landed. The texts say lots of monks noticed this, and, well, they were troubled by it. Understandably.
Yeah, it wasn't just a little quirk. It genuinely bothered them. It seemed out of step with what you'd expect from an elder.
So it reached a point where they couldn't just let it slide. The sources tell us a group of these monks went to the Buddha.
They laid it out directly. They said, Venerable Sir, the elder Pilindavaccha addresses the monks using the term vasali, a very specific complaint.
The Buddha's reaction is interesting. He doesn't jump to conclusions or immediately scold anyone. First step, have Pilindavaccha brought in.
Right. He wanted to hear it from the elder himself. So he asks him straight up, is it true, Pilindavaccha, that you address the monks using the term vasali?
Then Pilindavaccha, no beating around the bush. According to the text, just a simple, direct, yes, venerable sir.
No denial, no excuses, and that really sets the stage for the Buddha's response, which is honestly the absolute core of this story, and it's really quite surprising.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. The source says the Buddha actually turns to the monks who had complained.
Yes, and tells them not to criticize Pilindavaccha.
Which must have been confusing for them, so why? What was the reason?
This is the big reveal, the insight from the text. The Buddha explains that it's not because Pilindavaccha has any internal malice. The word used is dosantaro. He's not speaking this way out of ill will, not in this lifetime anyway.
Okay, so if it's not malice in this life, then what? This sounds like there's a twist coming.
It absolutely is. The Buddha reveals this astonishing reason, digging deep into the elder's past, all documented in the source, apparently for 500 continuous lifetimes before this one.
500?
500 lifetimes, yeah. Pilindavaccha had been born exclusively into Brahmana families.
Wow. Okay, and how does that connect to the harsh language?
Well, the source makes the direct link. Spending that incredibly long time, 500 lifetimes in that specific social context, meant that this habit, using the term vasali, just became deeply, deeply ingrained. The text uses the phrase digarata vasalivado samudichensia, accustomed to this vasali speech for a long time.
That's hard to even imagine. A habit sticking around for 500 lifetimes.
The Buddha even contrasts this, right? He says someone free from defilements, an arahant like Pilindavaccha, normally wouldn't speak harshly.
Exactly. He makes that point clearly. An arahant shouldn't naturally have kakase furuso, harsh or rough speech that offends people, parase gatana.
So Pilindavaccha is the exception that proves the rule, almost.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The Buddha's key message, and he says it quite affectionately, referring to the elder as my son, is that this way of speaking is only because of that ancient ingrained habit, asantavasina. It's not who he is now. It's like a linguistic echo from an unimaginably distant past. That's an incredible explanation. It completely reframes the situation. It's not a character flaw now, but a residue. And this whole incident then leads to a teaching, doesn't it?
It does. It becomes the perfect opportunity. Having explained this unique case, the Buddha then lays out what ideal or truly skillful speech actually looks like. And this is captured in a specific verse, a gāthā, that's quoted in the source material.
Okay, let's break that down. The commentary in our sources helps define these qualities. What's the first one mentioned in the verse?
It starts with akakasar. The commentary says this means not harsh, not rough. The Pāli is afarusa. So fundamentally, the speech should be gentle in tone and feeling.
Gentle.
Okay.
Then comes viññāpaññā. What's that about?
That one means making meaning understood, apaviññappañña. So it's not enough for speech to just be nice. It actually needs to be clear to convey the intended point effectively. Clarity and purpose.
Makes sense. Speech needs to communicate. The next quality is saikā.
Simple, but absolutely crucial. True or factual. The Pāli is bhutātha. Skillful speech has to be grounded in reality. No falsehoods, no misleading stuff.
True. And the last one, yayana bisajakanyechi. This seems especially relevant, given Pilindavaccha's specific issue.
It really is. The commentary explains it as speech by which one does not cause anyone to be offended or agitated. The Pali phrase kuchapanavasana lagapeya suggests not provoking anger or annoyance. It's about the impact on the listener.
So putting it all together, not harsh, understandable, true, and not causing offense. And the verse concludes by saying that the person who speaks this way
Is who the Buddha calls a true Brahmana.
Ah, that's clever.
Yeah.
He takes that term, linked to Pilindavaccha's past lives and the source of the habit, and completely redefines it based on skillful action, specifically skillful speech.
Exactly. It's a powerful rhetorical move. True nobility isn't about birth, it's about conduct, especially how you communicate. And the commentary adds a little note. It says, an arahant should speak like this. It reinforces that Pilindavaccha's situation was truly exceptional, explained only by that incredibly deep-rooted past habit.
It sets a really high, but also very clear, standard for communication.
Yeah.
And the sources mentioned this teaching had an immediate effect.
Yeah, the narrative just briefly notes that after this discourse, many people listening actually attained significant spiritual insights like stream entry and so on. So the message clearly hit home for them.
So let's bring this back. We've gone deep into this ancient story, Pilindavaccha's odd speech, the Buddha's really surprising explanation, this teaching on skillful communication. What does it all mean for you listening now?
Well, I think it really challenges us to think about our own behavior, doesn't it? Maybe we don't have habits from 500 lifetimes, or, maybe we do, who knows? But certainly we have habits formed over this lifetime.
For sure, decades of ingrained patterns.
Right. And how do those patterns, even the ones we think are harmless, or maybe don't even notice, actually shape our interactions? How do our words land, even when we don't intend any malice?
And it gives us that clear checklist from the source, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is my speech gentle? Is it clear? Is it true? Is it unlikely to cause offense? That's a practical framework you can actually use.
It really is. And it leaves you with this quite profound thought to consider. If a habit from 500 continuous lifetimes could still subtly echo in the speech of someone enlightened, then how much of our communication right now today is being shaped by habits we're not even aware of, patterns just running automatically? And what does that tell you about the kind of awareness, the kind of conscious effort it really takes to master our speech and align it with that skillful ideal?